Oh, Jess.
We are live and on the air, and I'm OmniDog with a phone call coming in that I just ignored. This is the Wednesday show of Omnibroslive, and as always, my co-host is from Comics Guide 101, Luis. Luis, how's it going?
You know, it's Wednesday, man. It's the Wednesday show. It's the Wednesday show summer edition. You're rocking the nice Hawaiian shirt. It's a good time. Just enjoying that time off. I'm officially on summer break as a teacher, and now I have to figure out what the hell else I'm gonna do with my spare time.
Read comics, play video games, watch TV, act like you're 12.
You know what? That's not a bad idea. I think I might do that a lot. I'm going to catch up on summer reading. I always have my summer reading list that I never get to, and it's prose books, not comics. And I never get to it. Never get through it. I'm still trying to make my way through it. That's a heavy book.
That is a heavy book.
I'm like 300 pages into it so far, and it's pretty good. But I put it down for a bit, and I'm coming back to it now that I have more time.
My prose reading has really suffered since I started having a channel on YouTube. All I do is read comics now so I can have content for the channel. And I haven't picked up a prose book in it since I started the channel back a year ago.
Yeah, it sucks up your time. You've been doing quite a few things. You just had another interview with Faria, right?
I interviewed Faria, and I also interviewed Frank Gogol, the writer of Grief.
Okay. Has he written anything else? He sounds familiar.
It's the guy from the Omnibus group that's written this.
Oh, how was that? I didn't get a chance to
it was really good.
I need to check that out.
It's an anthology of short stories, very emotion-packed, he really nails it. I think he's an up-and-coming talent. I am really impressed with his writing.
Oh, cool. I'll have to check that out. Where can I pick that up?
You mean where can you watch the video?
No. Where can I pick up?
You might still be able to get it from Frank, but he's also going to be in this month's previews, so you'll be able to pick it up at your LCS.
What? Congratulations, man!
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Good for him, man.
Yeah, it's a real big deal.
And if I wanted to pick up any other comics, Jess, where can I go to?
You would want to go to InStockTrades.com, where you can get your collected editions up to 50% off. Loyalty discounts can add 2 to 3%. Every quarter gets you an Omnibroslive discount. If you order $50 or more, you get free shipping in the United States. Excellent packaging, excellent service, customer service. We just had Emily on.
What?
That's right. We had Emily on and we interviewed her. It was a great interviewer. And I already said they packaged excellently. But Luis, how do you always say they package their books?
Just like I always say, they package their books like a newborn baby child, all wrapped up in a nice little blanket, ready for you to take home.
Like a newborn baby. That is totally true.
It really, really is. Just up to 50% off. That sounds like way too good of a deal.
It is too good of a deal. I don't know how they do it.
I don't either, man. But that, once again, is In Stock Trades, ladies and gentlemen. We love them. They have been our sponsor for a few months now, and they are fantastic. We loved them before they were a sponsor. So, yes, In Stock Trades. Check them out.
Trigonosis is already saying, I've seen more of Jess this week than my own girlfriend. Either I'm a negligent boyfriend or I'm addicted to this show.
That's good? I don't know, man.
Gee, I don't know how to react to that.
You might love
Trigonosis is watching, but better pay attention to that girlfriend of yours.
You might want to sort out your priorities. I mean, we're important too, but,
Yeah.
Matt
Miranda's saying he's going to slowly but surely get everyone watching The Wire.
The Wire. Matt, when are we doing the live stream? We have to sit down sometime and do the live stream with Matt.
Yeah, we do.
Now that I'm on summer break, I'm free every day, basically, now that I'm on summer break. So we could do it whenever. And I know you work in the mornings during the day, and you're free pretty much every afternoon.
Yeah, most of my research is done in the morning.
The Wire is still new to me. Let's watch Game of Thrones and Westworld. I tried Westworld. I got bored with it early on. So
RBG, no, I have not finished Discovery. I'm going to try and finish it this weekend. I'm up to, I think, episode 12, and I think there's 15 episodes. I kind of don't want to finish it. I'm enjoying it so much.
Star Trek?
Yeah. So I'm pushing it off, finishing it, because I am really digging it.
Wow, as a diehard Trekkie, huh?
Yeah. This scratches my itch for Star Trek. Yeah, I'm really digging it. Jimmy Owens did me a solid and helped me out to be able to watch it, and I'm just digging it totally.
Well, good news for us. I mean, Legion just got picked up for a 3rd season.
Oh, well, maybe I'll watch the 2nd season.
Yeah, I was wondering if it would get picked up for a 3rd one, but I got to sit down and it's got to be like at least on 8 episodes now, right?
Oh, I think we're like, 8 or 9 episodes. We are really way behind.
Oh god, we did a thing last year where we did a whole recap of the season. I need to sit down this week and play catch up with it. I hope this season is good. I love last season.
Yeah, I did too. Maybe next week I can catch up on Legion after I finish Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be good. That'd be good.
That'd be very, very good. Omnipool says, I still cannot get into Legion. It's
yeah, it's not for everybody.
No, Legion is definitely not for everybody. It's something else. So Squad. Okay, yeah. Oh, what? Real quick, can we talk about this? They want to do. They've got like 5 Joker movies, Warner Brothers, that they want to do at this point. You believe this mess? Now they're saying they're gonna do another standalone Joker movie with Jared Leto.
He's a terrible Joker.
He's a horrible Joker. And I know we're kind of talking the Joker today. That's the main topic today, the top 5 Joker stories that we have. He's not going to show up on my list. I don't know if he's going to show up on your list, but Jared Leto's not showing up on mine.
I can already tell you he's nowhere near my list.
Yeah,
he's not even on my piece of paper.
I mean, I kind of am curious because Jared Leto has gone on record and said that the version that you see of the Joker in the Suicide Squad isn't the one that he filmed, isn't what he wanted. So I don't know. Regardless, he was terrible. He was terrible. Yeah, I don't believe it. Plus, I've heard Leto himself is kind of a dick in real life.
Yeah, I heard that too. I didn't know that, but I heard that he's like really not a good person at all.
Yeah,
not even remotely.
Heard he's kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Warner just needs to get Flashpoint out. Just reset everything.
Mm-hmm.
Keep Wonder Woman as Gal Gadot. And you know what? I haven't seen the film, but I like Jason Momoa as Aquaman. Keep him.
I liked him in Justice League. I thought he was a good Aquaman. So yeah.
Yeah, he was a really good Aquaman in Justice League. He provided a lot of levity and he was a fun character in the movie. Yes, Aquaman is still happening. We're supposed to get a trailer really soon. I know Giovanni will be the first one to let us know what he thinks.
Oh my goodness. His head's going to explode.
How disappointed do you think he'd be if Aquaman was set entirely on land?
I think as long as he gets Aquaman and Mira, they could be on the moon and he wouldn't care.
Imagine they pull a He-Man and like you get the first 5 minutes underwater and the rest of it is him on land, a fish out of water story, quite literally.
Well, that He-Man reference went over my head, but I get it.
Oh, you never seen the original He-Man movie?
Do I look like a guy that would want to see know what you're talking about with He-Man?
Oh,
He-Man happened while I was an adult.
Okay, so He-Man is like a knockoff Conan the Barbarian.
I've been an adult for
He-Man is basically a knockoff Conan the Barbarian. He lives in Eternia, which is like another parallel dimension. And in the He-Man movie, I think that was Canon Films back in the 80s. Pretty sure.
No, we'll say no more. Yeah. It's canon.
I'm pretty sure it was Canon Films. In the original He-Man movie, the first like 5 minutes are in Eternia and like a parallel dimension with like skulls and like it's like Conan basically. And then after the first 5 minutes, they set him in New York or something like that because they ran out of the budget.
Is Canon who's responsible for Samurai Cop?
Oh, man.
Or is that a different studio?
I think it's a different studio. I'd have to look at it.
Okay. AVG, you're asking for a timeout.
Which Skeletor was playing it up good on Frank. I'm excited to see another Man of Steel movie. The first one was great. Is that what it is? Man of Steel, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, Man of Steel.
I actually like Man of Steel.
I liked Man of Steel too.
I dug the first half more than the second half. I really liked it.
Yeah, no, I loved it all.
I still get chills every time you see that the first flight where he takes off for the first time. I still get chills with that.
Yeah, I love that movie. I'll watch
scene.
that movie again.
That's a really great scene. I mean, Zack Snyder might not be the greatest director, but he knows how to frame a shot and he knows how to set things up pretty well. And I dug Watchmen. I liked his Watchmen.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, I haven't seen Watchmen in years, so I might not like it now, but I dug it.
I want to see the 4-hour director cut. I want to carve out a huge chunk of my day and just sit down and watch that for 4 hours.
That's a deep hole, man. That director's cut, it has the Black Freighter stuff inside of it.
Okay, good. Epic soundtrack, Man of Steel. Yes. And don't be a hater on that movie. Don't be hating that movie. Don't be meanie booblinis.
I do. I need to see Hereditary this weekend. Avi G has a question. Best 4K movie that I've seen. That's hard. There's been quite a few. It's up there between Revenant and Blade Runner 2049. I really think Blade Runner 2049 is a beautiful film. Matrix is great too. Matrix is really great. Matrix is great in terms of the fact that it's a movie that was made in 1999, and the new 4K is fantastic. So let's kick things off just with the main topic of tonight's show, so we can get the ball rolling. And we are talking about, of course, Jess, Joker. Everybody loves the Joker, right?
Everybody does have a twisted love for the Joker.
You love the Joker. I love the Joker. We can't get enough of the crazy clown prince of crime. So that's why today we are doing our top 5 Joker stories.
Top 5.
And maybe a few more along the way. We never stick to top 5. We always kind of go off on different tangents and stuff like that. We say top 5, but it's more of like a guideline rather than a mandatory thing.
Right. I even wrote notes for this, so.
All right, Mr. Bragg, hit me. What's your number 5 choice?
Oh, number 5 choice? Okay, wait.
Or whatever order. Doesn't matter.
I'll give you my number 5 choice. Let's see, wait. My number 5 choice would be contained in this book. The cover is The Laughing Fish.
Ooh,
Joker,
classic.
It looks like a dumb story because he's got fish guns or whatever there, and it looks dumb when you look at it, but it's really quite an amazing story. Of course, it's got Marshall Rogers pencils. And wait a sec, I did take notes on this. Where is it? Here it is. Joker creates fish that look like him and emit a neurotoxin. And he sees an opportunity to patent his laughing fish. And when he gets turned down for the patent, he goes to the patent office and kills the clerk and start like right under Batman's nose, and then starts going up the chain of command in the patent office, like right under Batman's nose. This is a good one because it really shows you the evil of Joker and sort of the not helplessness of Batman, but how the Joker just kills people like right under his nose, and all he can do is, capture the Joker, put him back in Arkham Asylum. So that's why I love The Laughing Fish, because it looks silly, but it's really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's got awesome art, and it's got a great deadly story, and Joker is his twisted self in it. So I'm gonna go top. That's my number 5 Joker story.
Number 5.
Number 5.
Number 5. This is Casey Kasem. Number 5 for me would be. I don't have it with me. Joker by Brian Azzarello.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that one.
Joker by Brian Azzarello was an interesting one-off graphic novel that Brian Azzarello, and I forgot the name of the artist, did. And basically it centers around this guy who has just joined Joker's gang, and Joker has just gotten out of jail. What's really interesting about this is that this is actually predates The Dark Knight, and it has Joker's glass jaw smile, or however, I forgot how you pronounce it. It's where he has a smile where it's cut basically into his face. And this wasn't, they were actually developing this 2 years before The Dark Knight premiered. So there's a lot of people that kind of get it mixed up and say, well, The Dark Knight took inspiration from this, and well, it was Joker that took inspiration from Dark Knight, when in fact this predates that. And if you are jonesing for more of that Joker feeling from the Dark Knight film, this is a really good book to get that same kind of vibe. It's kind of weird because they were developing this before The Dark Knight came out, and it has a real similar tone to it in certain ways. And this new guy who he's joined Joker's gang, he's working with Joker, and he's not 100% certain with everything that Joker does. You get a real in-depth look into the day in and day out of Joker's life, and it's pretty fucked up, a lot of things. They don't hold back Joker's drug use, depression, and things like that. It's really, really good.
Nice. Good choice. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out what is going to be number 4.
I also like, Croc in that story is really cool too. It's huge.
I guess number 4. No, I don't like that one. I'm getting rid of that one and changing it. Let's see. Unless I end up with not enough. I'll say number 4 is Dark Knight. The movie Dark Knight.
God damn it. I got mine.
It's okay. We can agree on something.
We can agree on this one.
That was a chillingly amazing performance by Heath Ledger. He obviously stole the show. It's not a Batman movie. It's a Joker movie. It had everything in, although I did love it when Batman walks into the room where they're holding Joker and smashes his head down on the desk. That was a great scene. I love how well thought out and sick Joker is. Even though he's a sick and twisted guy, he's got amazingly, right from the very beginning, he's got everything super organized, and it makes me wonder if he's really insane or he just loves killing, because he is so organized. I guess insane people can be really organized. I don't know. I'm not a mental health expert, but he does such a great portrayal in that movie. He's so chilling and so realistic, and I just loved everything about his performance in that movie. That, to me, was the Joker brought to life as he should be.
Mm-hmm. Very well said. Do you remember when, like, the first pictures they came out and they announced that Heath Ledger was going to be the Joker, and everybody was like, really? The guy from Brokeback Mountain and, like, A Knight's Tale and stuff like that? And set photos leaked, and everybody was like, his skin isn't bleached, it's makeup. And that instantly, all that doubt went away during the magic trick. And a lot of when he shoves the guy's head into the pencil in that movie. Oh, man. Ooh. His take on the Joker is one of my favorites as well, and that's why I put him at number 4 as well. In that it's a gritty, grounded, and semi-realistic take, and it fits Nolan's vision of a more realistic take of Batman. And you'll have the people nowadays that say, "Oh, that movie was overrated. Heath Ledger's take wasn't actually that good." Shut up.
Fuck them.
You're wrong. You're absolutely wrong.
Totally.
You couldn't be more wrong. You're just trying to be contrarian at this point.
Right.
Because to this day, he's somewhere right now. Heath Ledger looking at Suicide Squad went, "Yep, still the king." Didn't have anything to worry about because his Joker easily outshines whatever Hot Topic Jared Leto Joker that he was trying to pull off.
Hot Topic.
Yeah, it easily outshines it, and it's still to this day. I see that version at MegaCon this year. I saw that version more than Cholo Joker.
Cholo Joker.
I'm honestly, I would be perfectly willing to accept the fact if in the next Batman movie the real Joker comes out and shoots Cholo Joker in the head and says, "Oh wow, what a loser" or something, what a fake imitator. But it's such an iconic role. And do you remember during that Halloween that everybody was trying to do the voice, was trying to do the laugh, was trying to imitate him, and you would just see it everywhere in T-shirts, posters. It's just such an iconic character, and the way Heath Ledger did it is fantastic. Did you ever see? There's a video out there of, I forgot the name of the musician, where it's clear as day that's where Heath Ledger got his inspiration from.
Yeah, no, I don't know what that. I'm not familiar with that.
Hold on, quick Google search.
Okay.
But it's clear as day that he got his inspiration from this famous musician. As far as the mannerisms and like the voice and things like that. Heath Ledger. It was Tom Waits.
Oh, wow. I'm very familiar with Tom Waits.
Here, it's a 1:30 clip. It's real quick. I'll send it to you. And you can see just dead on where it is that he gets his inspiration from. And I'm putting it even in the chat. Won't let me do it. I'll send it to you, and you can put it in the chat so people can see it. Okay. But his mannerisms, the way he talks, that is definitely where he picked that up. Let me send you in the old Facebook.
Okay, let me get back on Facebook real quick.
Did Tom Waits inspire Heath Ledger? There you go. While I do that, I'll just keep going on and on. But
Go ahead.
It's definitely a take that when that first came out, it was frightening. It was actually genuinely a pretty frightening Joker. I remember sitting in my seat and being on the edge of my seat every single time that he showed up in the film. Every single time I'm like, oh, what's he gonna do now? Because he's so unpredictable. And then there's the scene involving Harvey Dent and all that other stuff. But it's just such a performance that it's rare we get something that iconic and that influential. Did you find the clip?
I did, yeah. I'm putting it in right now.
All right, check that out.
Okay, I just put it in the chat. And I'm familiar enough with Tom Waits that makes sense.
So okay.
I don't. I'm not going to watch it right now, but I totally get it. I'll watch it right after the show.
What was Tom Waits? I don't know anything about him.
He's still alive. You can see him in Jim Jarmusch films if you're familiar with Jim Jarmusch. That's a censored cartoon link. It is? No, it's not. I put in exactly what he. Wait a minute.
No, it's not.
That'd be funny if it was. Wait a second.
No, I just followed it. They're messing with you, man.
Oh, good one. He totally nailed me.
Clark's just messing with you, man.
Good callback.
Did you check out one of some of the other 10 censored?
I watched a bunch of them. Unbelievable. I watched Coal Black and the Seven Dwarves or whatever, and I was just shocked and amazed that you could see it, because until the internet, nobody had seen that thing for 80 years or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, Coal Black is really bad. It's really rough.
Oh, I've never seen anything like that. It was
Yeah.
astonishing, and I still haven't watched some of the others, but I mean that was 7 minutes of just pure racial hatred. Unbelievable.
Oh, absolutely. There's a Popeye one too I think it's what was it, baby? Eurosap, Mr. Jap.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's pretty rough too.
I gotta watch that one. I had that up on my I had that up to watch, and then I had to restart my computer and I lost it, so I need to go back and get it.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, last week Jess and I we talked and we fell down kind of a rabbit hole of racist cartoons.
Yeah, how did we do that?
It came out of me and my girl. We got curious, and we started watching like old 1940s band cartoons, and then we got into the whole topic of the censored 10 or censored 11, whatever it was.
11, yeah.
Yeah, the most censored not comics, the most censored cartoons.
My parents were surprised.
You showed them your parents?
Yeah, my dad's like, it makes sense. That was 40s.
Yeah. It was the 40s, unfortunately. It is history.
Yeah, it is. That's why I'm glad you can still access them, so you can see what the mentality of people was back then.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's important that we are aware of that stuff and that stuff was around, rather than just to hide it, because it's that old saying: if we don't learn from our history, then we're just going to repeat it over and over.
Yeah, the weird thing about Coal Black is that I don't think it ever got released. So I'm wondering how they got a hold of it to put it on YouTube, because it did not get released, to my knowledge, as like a movie short or something for audiences to watch.
Right.
They decided it was too hot to even put out. So
I don't know. I really don't know.
No.
Just numero tres. What do you got?
That would be Scott Snyder's Endgame.
Son of a gun! You took my next one.
Ah, it's okay. We can share, man.
We're on a roll. We're in sync today.
We are. There's something really great, starting with the very first Snyder book on Batman that involves Joker peeling off his face. Whenever that happened, I can't remember.
That was Death of the Family.
Okay. Yeah,
that was
when that happened, that was a new level of, oh my God, to me, that Snyder had him do that. And Capullo's art is second to none on getting the true madness of Joker here. And it's when they and then when they finally, battle each other to the death, and Batman's missing for a while, was a great ending to a story. And they just beat the hell out of each other in this, especially Batman just wails away on the Joker. He's had it with him, and it actually leads to my second favorite, well, I can't really call it a joke. Well, it's a Joker moment, but I don't want to wreck it for anyone who hasn't read Jeff Johns' Justice League. When Batman's in the Metron chair and discovers what he discovers.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
That to me is another great Joker moment. But Endgame, to me, it was just sort of a real almost intellectual descent into the relationship between the Joker and Batman. And the virus he's released the virus, and they're fighting underground or wherever they are. I forget where they are. It's just unbelievable how tense and fraught with a real anger that Batman has in this that you don't normally see in him. That Snyder really ramped it up, and for that reason, this is number 3 on my list.
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. It's a fantastic Joker story, and it is what it is. It's Endgame. It's the pretty much ending of the Snyder and Capullo run up until they did Batman Metal, but it's still Dark Knight Metal, but it's the proper ending to his run. I know they kept going a little bit after that, but to me, this is really where Snyder and Capullo's run ended. This you can stop. To me, if I were to give somebody, hey, Batman doesn't end. His story never ends. He just keeps fighting crime. You can read issues 1 through all the way of Endgame, and that is a full and complete Batman story. You can stop at Endgame. It's one of those, and you don't need to read another Batman story. Granted, there's hundreds of other great Batman stories, but if you wanted to, you could read issue 1 through all the way to Endgame, and you'd have a complete and total Batman story and a whole arc. I really dug that about Endgame, and like you said, Joker in Endgame is probably at some of his most fiercest that we see. He is genuinely fucking terrifying in that book. He does some stuff that he crosses some lines. There's a scene involving Alfred where I don't want to spoil it, but he does something and I go, holy crap, is that going to stick around? And it does. It sticks around for quite a bit. You know, they retcon it eventually later, but it's still really, really good. I dig Endgame. I like how it ended. Some people say Snyder has problems with his endings, but that's one of the endings where I think he absolutely stuck it. And the build-up to it where involving Joker's mythology and history and things like that, it has you questioning going, is the Joker something else? Is he more than just human?
Right.
Dug the hell out. It actually makes me want to actually go sit down tonight and read the entire Endgame all over again. But it's a fantastic read all the way through. And Capullo at the time was firing at all cylinders, and he keeps, to this day, I haven't read Metal yet, but I've heard he's fantastic in Metal as well. But we had seen him through, you know, The Court of Owls, through Death of the Family, through 0 Year, and he kept getting better and better. And Endgame was just where he was at an 11 the entire way through. And he just did not slow down at all. It's quite frankly, it's impressive as hell to see how much of a workhorse he must have been in order to get that stuff out.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
So, which makes me even more excited because I was at a panel at MegaCon, and Snyder and Capullo said we have one more Batman story that we're going to tell, and that's it. That they're going to do one more together, and it's basically going to be Batman's death, like him as an old man. And Capullo says he was given a lot of time to work on it during Metal, and he's going to get even more time to work on it now. So he's gonna go all out for this next one.
Okay.
So I'm really excited to see where they take this next story.
Well, I'm pretty sure you don't have my next one.
What you got
on your list? Are we down to 2?
We're down to 2. But you know us. We don't give a damn about the order. We just keep going.
We'll go to 0, -0.
Yeah.
It is Batman Adventures Mad Love, because it introduces my favorite character, Dr. Harleen Quinzel, Harley Quinn.
Mad Love.
Brings it into the DC universe, brings him into the DC universe from the animated series, which was awesome. And you could argue that that the Harley introduction in Batman Adventures is even better. But I decided that I love Mad Love so much that I mean, this thing won an Eisner. So and here's all the this book comes with all the pencils, all the blue pencils and stuff. But I loved it because it establishes the relationship, the crazy relationship between Joker and Harley Quinn, or Dr. Harleen Quinzel, that he turns into Harley Quinn. It's kind of heartbreaking. The book is when you think about how nuts she is about him, unreasonably nuts about him, and
art.
Yeah, it's really awesome. Straight from Batman Adventures. But the introduction of Harley Quinn, actually, I mean, you can say that it kind of changed my life because she became my new favorite character. So this is an important book to me, and the animated series is an important book to me, but her introduction into the DC universe with Mad Love was a really important book to me, and I am aware that this is just the deluxe edition. I have the Mad Love issue itself, so don't jam me up about that. This is just the deluxe. I know that there's a comic, blah, blah, blah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but was Mad Love the first place where they gave Harley an official origin as to her relation with the Joker? Or is that in the animated series still?
Well,
because Harley, most people don't realize, but Harley Quinn is actually a Batman animated series creation. She first appeared on the TV show.
I think that the true origin is still in the animated show. Although they do include it in here. They do include Harleen Quinzel in how she fell for him. But I think, I mean, it's sort of retold. I think the real origin is still the animated series. But it's retold here.
And then, of course, you have one of your favorite runs, the Amanda Conner, Jimmy Palmiotti stuff.
Yay.
That you absolutely love.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have that first hardcover. I need to sit down and read it. I still haven't read it, and it's wrapped up. It's still sealed.
That's a crime.
I know. I have embarrassed this dojo.
Bow to your sensei.
All right, my number 2. This is more of a recent entry. And I'm going to go, it's probably because it's fresh in my mind. And I'm just putting it as number 2 because I don't know where else to put it. But White Knight.
I haven't read it.
I finished White Knight the other day. And God damn, was that a really, really strong Joker story. That was really, really good, Jess.
I can't wait to get it.
It's probably my second favorite thing that Sean Murphy's done behind Punk Rock Jesus. Essentially, the general premise of White Knight is that Batman, this is an Elseworlds tale through and through. And it's set in the future, and Batman, he's a little bit older, he's getting a little bit more tired, and he's getting a little bit more sloppy in the way that he handles the villains, and he's getting a bit more violent. And at the beginning of the story, he's chasing Joker down, and he catches him, and Joker is basically, he's a little bit different than normal. He's basically saying, I'm going to show you the proper way to handle Gotham. You've been doing this kind of the wrong way. Let me take these pills. And Batman just shoves pills down his throat. And the thing is about these pills is that it makes him normal. And it makes him more steady, and it makes him more controlled. And he turns into Jack Napier, I think is the...
Right. His original name.
His original name. And throughout the 8-issue series, you see the Joker, who he is slowly winning over Gotham, and he's also slowly winning you over as a reader to his side. And he makes a lot of good fucking points as to Batman's destruction of the city. Why isn't he supporting the police a little bit more? Things like that. He's got this technology that he's hogging it. It's very relevant of today and the us versus them and things like that. And it's a really, really well thought out and really well written story that I did not expect from Sean Murphy. Now, he kind of shot himself in the foot because he said this is going to be my Dark Knight Returns, and it's not that. It's obviously not as iconic or as good as Dark Knight Returns. However, it's still a really damn solid and really fun Joker story, and it's a great Elseworlds tale. And he sticks the landing really well, very, very well. And I was very impressed with how everything turned out. I love his, again, I can't give anything away because you haven't read it, but I love what he does with Harley and Harley's mythology and Harley's background, because he twists certain things around, and he introduces certain concepts and certain things. I'm not going to say anything else. And I really dig where he takes the story with that. But I really recommend, just as soon as it comes out, you order it and read it.
Oh yeah, definitely going to. I've been excited for it. My number one is going to surprise you because of what it isn't. I've left something off this list that's going to be obvious. And I will talk to you about it after, because it's not my number one. It may be your number one. It may be the audience's number one, but it ain't my number one.
Cesar Romero.
It has to do with Cesar Romero.
What?
Because, no. I mean, Cesar Romero is part of the problem that this comic cured. When Joker originated, he was a killer back in the 1940s or whatever, with his the Venom smile, or this whatever the Joker virus was, where it killed the victims and their hideous grin. He started out as a killer.
Yeah.
Then Batman went to space for like 10 years and did all kinds of weird space adventures. Then what they're calling now the Batman 66 era, which was just the Batman TV show to me as a young lad. Cesar Romero's Joker sort of became the Joker in the comics in the mid-60s, up to including early 70s, where he was just a goofy villain. Fine, Joker was a goofy villain, but he wasn't the evil, venomous Joker that he started out as, and Cesar Romero's portrayal of him, I think, must have influenced comic books, because they started showing him as just this dorky bank robber that had, goofy ways about him. This issue changed all that, and that's why it's my number one, because this was an important issue that took him back to being a killer, back to being an insane clown that was a killer, got more grounded and rooted in what is rooted in his roots, if I can say that. It's not very good grammar, but it took him back to his roots, made him evil again. He's not the goofy Joker. He is the complete opposite of that, and that would be Batman 251, called The Five-Way Revenge, with writing by Denny O'Neil and art by Neil Adams. I have a beat-up reader copy of this, but I also have a graded copy for my own benefit.
That is a nice copy, 8.0.
Yeah. And it cost me what an 8.0 would, so it ain't leaving my safe deposit box. I had to go get it for this episode.
That was beautiful, man.
Yeah. And here is in tiny pages in the Greatest Joker Stories Ever, which has horrible binding. Here is some of Neil Adams' artwork. This is how it's a story that has Joker attempting to do away with a group of 5 henchmen who have displeased him, like by killing them, forcing Batman to defend the same criminals he would normally be fighting. That's his 5-way revenge. It established a really important, oh God, this is untouched Neil Adams artwork and unrecolored. This shows you how good it was.
Oh, that's beautiful right there. Before he was charging $30 for a picture.
Right. It establishes his kind of absolute disregard for life. Let me find some more good. His absolute disregard for life by wanting to kill the henchmen. It reestablishes his twisted relationship with Batman. In it, he actually gets the jump on Batman and has him at a disadvantage. And for some reason, decides to leave Batman alive, which starts the cycle. And here's a famous picture, which starts the cycle of dependence of Batman and Joker on each other. Joker leaves Batman alive in this when he has the drop on him, which is an important, very important aspect to this book. Unfortunately, this book doesn't come with the covers, which is really sucky. But it does come with the stories falling out of the binding. But this is one of the few places where you can get the unretouched Neil Adams artwork, and you can see why it was so important, because before that, Batman was very cartoony, even though he does draw a bit of a cartoony Joker. This shows just how important Neil Adams' artwork was, and it shows how important Denny O'Neil's writing was at a time when Batman was just a bit of a goofball before this, back in the campy 60s. So that is my #1 Batman story, Joker's 5-Way Revenge. And you'll notice that I did not include what is undoubtedly your #1.
Maybe.
What?
My #1 would be, drum roll please, the Batman movie with Adam West. No, it's not the movie with Adam West. The Shark Repellent. No, it's the obvious choice. It's The Killing Joke. It's Alan Moore, Brian Bolland. I'm blanking. I believe it's Brian Bolland.
Yeah, that's right.
And we're getting an absolute pretty soon. But it's The Killing Joke. Absolutely brilliant. I love The Killing Joke. It's one of the best Batman stories. I know it's not looked upon favorably more recently for its portrayal of how it handles Barbara Gordon and things like that. But it's a brilliant story with beautiful art and beautiful colors by Brian Bolland. And if you ever wondered where we get the majority of Joker's quote-unquote origin, even though you really can't believe what his origin is, because as he says in the book, he'd prefer it to be multiple choice if he had a choice. And that he constantly remembers it differently. I love it. I love The Killing Joke. It's just an instant classic. Really, there's not much else that needs to be said. It's, basically the Joker trying to break Commissioner Gordon. He's trying to break him, and he's trying to prove that just based off of one bad day, anybody can break.
And it's not on my list at all because I don't think it's aged particularly well.
Okay.
It was. I don't disagree with any of your points. It was a brilliant, groundbreaking book when it came out. It really shook things up, turned Barbara Gordon into Oracle. It was definitely a riveting tale with amazing art.
Mm-hmm.
But I revisited it earlier this year, and it kind of pisses me off. I think Alan Moore, if I look back on all of Alan Moore's stories, his treatment of women is really alarming.
Mm-hmm.
And that includes rape and beatings and starting with Watchmen all the way up to his most recent thing, like Neonomicon. I'm still a fan of his writing. I still like to read what he writes. But I really feel like that book, to me, should have had Batman killing the Joker and just saying, F it, I'm done with this. Why should I let this guy live? That's really the whole conceit that bothers me about the Joker, is that he's continually allowed to live. I would have loved Killing Joke to have ended with Batman just killing him, and that would have just been awesome. And they could have brought him back 5 years later, whatever, like they do all dead superheroes. But to me, it has not aged well at all, and it's really kind of repulsive to me now.
Understandable. There's nothing wrong with that.
And I'm not dissing your opinion at all. I knew it was going to be your number one choice.
It's fine.
It's pretty much everybody's number one choice.
Right.
But it kind of frosts my cookies right now.
It's fine. I understand. It is funny though that you mentioned that you wish it ended with Batman killing the Joker, because
it is sort of ambiguous.
Right. And there's a popular theory going around that was started by Grant Morrison, because he was on a podcast, said that he actually spoke with Alan Moore once, and Alan Moore said the book actually ends with Batman killing the Joker. That's literally how it ends, because the interpretation is you see Batman laughing at the end. You hear Batman laughing through the word balloons at the end of the book, but you don't see Joker's laugh anymore. So the theory is that Batman actually chokes him out at the end of the book.
Right. I'm sorry that it's a theory and that we sort of have an ambiguous ending and we kind of guess at that. I wish it had just been an outright choking out. But also, that's sort of the beauty of the book, is that it's an ambiguous ending and you think, did he kill him or didn't he kill him? And you don't really know. And that is kind of the beauty of the book.
It is. What in the world? So any more Joker stories, Jess?
Actually, I liked the very first Joker story. That was actually written by Bill Finger. Let me see where this appearance was in. Oh, it was in Batman #1, spring of 1940. And of course, you need to see the Bill Finger documentary, which I haven't done yet, but he is given credit, which is good in this book, for creating the Joker. And the Joker is extremely deadly in this thing. And while the art is, of the time, I remember this affected me as a kid reading this in reprints, that the Joker was really a killer and not to be trusted, and not just the dorky clown prince of crime, but he was a force to be reckoned with. And this is also an excellent story, since it establishes Joker as a major criminal, or the major criminal in Batman's life.
What issue was it that he first appeared in?
Batman #1.
Oh, so
I'm sorry. Yeah, book #1.
I wonder how much that issue would go for today.
Batman #1? In what kind of condition?
You're never gonna find one like brand new. But I wonder, like, about it's 6.0, something like that.
I think that Steve Jeppy in his museum in Baltimore, which is now donated to the Library of Congress, I think he has like a 9.0 copy, because I know he has a 9.0 copy of Action 1. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Steve Jeppy is the owner of Diamond Distribution, so he's got moolah, and he's been collecting for his entire life. And at some point, he he opened a museum that I never got to see, but I know that he has probably one of the top quality collections in the world, and it includes Action 1 and Batman 1 and Detective 27, all in crazy good shape. And I mean, Amazing Fantasy 15 and Fantastic Four #1, whatever. He's got them all in top shape. And those have been donated to the Library of Congress now, because he's closed his museum.
Right. That happened recently too, didn't it?
Yeah, last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, he closed it, I think, Memorial Day weekend. And I'm sorry that he did, because I never got a chance to see it, because he had an amazing collection of memorabilia. I don't know him at all, but I know he has an amazing collection.
Oh man, I would actually really like to see what he had.
Yeah, well, you can go to the Library of Congress, because they're going to display it.
Ooh, I think I might make that trip. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah,
It's good to put a face to the guy who basically has a monopoly on what comics get distributed.
Yeah, there's that.
All right, guys. So this is the point where we interact with you guys. This is the Wednesday show. So we take your questions, we listen to you, we talk to you. Jess, you gave your number 1 pick, right? Before we move on.
Yeah.
Or was that number 2? Okay.
No, that was number 1. This guy.
Just double checking. So if you got any questions in the chat, please let us know, and we can go ahead and talk about it. Jess, I actually this past week I sat down, and you know what movie I saw that I haven't seen in a long time?
The
Incredibles.
Oh, what a great movie! What a great Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah, and I was sitting there watching it and thinking, you know, why don't we just give Brad Bird the Fantastic Four movie?
Yeah.
Why don't they just he basically made the best Fantastic Four movie that's come out so far.
Yeah, no question.
So I sat down and watched it, and it holds up really well. There's a Batman #1 on eBay 9.0 for 75 grand.
That must be the starting bid.
Yeah, it must be
$50 book.
Yeah. How do you feel about putting another mortgage on your house, Jess?
That would not get me to $1 million.
But it gets you in the right direction.
Oh, well, it could get me in the right direction, but it wouldn't get me all the way there. Comic Guy has a good question. Is the new print of Infinite Crisis worth buying? Yes. That's the best of the crises.
Can I tell you how much I love this guy, Comic Guy? Dude is freaking out. He's been binging through every single one of my videos, and at least every day.
Me too.
At least every day I get 3 or 4 notifications from him saying, hey, great video. Hope you have a great day. Thanks for everything. At least on every single video. Just a super sweet dude, and I appreciate that, man.
I appreciate it too. And actually, my life is a little empty because he's done with my videos, and I don't get notices from him anymore.
So thanks a lot, man. I know I haven't put up a video in a while, so I want to go back to it. And now that I've got more time, I should be actually getting back to it pretty soon.
So did you see Incredibles in 4K?
Yes, I did.
Was it eye-bleedingly cool?
You know, it looks good. It really does look really well done. But because of the fact that that's an early, geez, how old is that movie? It's 2004, 2005.
Oh, wow.
It's probably even like 2002, 2003, right?
Really, it's that old? I wouldn't have thought that.
Let's find out. I want to say I was in high school.
It's pre-Iron Man?
Yeah, it's pre-Iron Man.
Wow. I wouldn't have thought that. Well, I guess, yeah, it couldn't have come out in like 2012 or something. You're right. It did come out a long time ago.
2004.
2004. Wow. It was ahead of its time.
It was really ahead of its time. So it came out in 2004, and now it's as a special effects, you know, as a Pixar film, it shows its age a lot. It's obviously going to show its age because it did come out in the early 2000s when, you know, Pixar was still doing really great animation for its time, but we've gotten a lot better. Probably also doesn't help that me and my friends and my girl, we sat down and we watched Moana before we actually sat down and watched The Incredibles, but it still looks really good. It's a very good looking film, and I'm super excited for the next one.
Wait, what are you saying about Mulan?
Moana.
Oh, Moana.
Mm-hmm.
What's that? I haven't seen that.
Moana? Oh, it's a Disney movie that came out.
Is that the Hawaiian one?
Yeah, it came out like last year. It's a fun movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I need to see that still. I still haven't seen Tangled. I'm way behind.
Oh, you haven't seen Tangled?
No, I heard that's really fun.
I haven't seen it either.
He doesn't need to see Tangled, just watch Moana.
She says you don't need to see Tangled, just watch Moana.
Okay, I'll do what your girlfriend says.
But I personally love Moana. We sing the songs around the house all the time.
Okay, fun.
Gabe says Incredibles 2 is the only big summer blockbuster I'm looking forward to this summer.
I'm looking forward to Ant-Man and Wasp. I don't know if that's considered a blockbuster.
I would consider. I'm actually kind of looking forward to the new Jurassic Park this week.
Not into dinosaurs, so.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. You're one of the few people that aren't into dinosaurs as a kid.
I'm the only boy on the planet that didn't like dinosaurs.
Where you saw it on the Triceratops.
Used to have a Triceratops toy.
Yeah.
I used to have
He
a
would
bunch of things.
talk and walk and
James Atkins, Lewis, just to let you know, I got into My Hero and I watched all of season 1 and half of season 2. It was great. I'm getting the manga too. You were right. It's great. Thanks for recommending it. Hey, I'm happy to help you, man. Yeah, Viola Blue points something out. I'm not sure if you guys know, but they have a 20% off coupon for eBay. A good opportunity to pick up out-of-print books. That's true. I don't know what the code is, though.
I think it's something about Dad's Day, something about Father's Day.
Something like that. And
So I could maybe afford Batman #1 9.0 if I can get 20% off $1 million.
I mean, it's up to $100, Jess. Let's not go that far.
20% off $1 million, though. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Yeah. I wonder if they'd honor that.
Probably not.
No, probably not.
Like I was actually looking at doing that because I'm in the market. I want to pick up a Dolby Vision player for the house, and I was just looking around at stuff. I'm like, oh,
no
okay,
more
yeah.
Pick
So,
Dad's Gift is the code. Pick Dad's Gift.
Pick Dad's Gift.
Yeah, is the code.
It's a good
What is
code.
that? Everything on eBay?
Yeah, 20% off everything on eBay.
Oh. You
It's
might get a new fishing rod.
it's up to $100.
What's she want? A new fishing rod?
No, it's for Father's Day for her dad
Oh,
to replace his old one. He loves fishing. He's
And then
huge
I
on
take
fishing.
his old one, so it's a win-win situation.
Their whole family likes fishing.
well, that's good.
I do. I like fishing too.
Okay, cool.
Just doesn't like dinos. Did he have a few as pets?
No, I did not.
Oh, let's see what else we got going on. Coco is better than Moana. I strongly disagree. Although I love Coco.
I loved Coco too. It was good.
It is good. Let's see. What comes out? Hereditary comes out this week. That looks good.
What's that about?
It's like a horror movie. It's like an Exorcist horror movie.
Oh, that sounds good to me.
Looks good.
Omnipool says, Lewis, which is better, Dolby Vision or Atmos? You are completely getting confused, Omnipool. And I'll explain why.
Oh.
Atmos is the way that you listen to films. It's a certain way to listen to films where, okay, I'm not going to get super techie because it would bore the hell out of everybody. But suffice to say, Atmos is basically you have speakers set up on your roof, and you have to install them. Ryan actually has them. Of course he does. Atmos is basically audio. You have speakers installed on the roof, and it's a format where, depending on how the people that mastered it, you can have sounds that would go on top of the roof to match it. For example, like if there's a helicopter scene, you would hear the helicopter and your surround sound fly across your roof because of the speakers that are on your roof.
Yeah, you could do
Oh, that's so cool.
So that's what that is. Dolby Vision is a format of viewing a film. You have two competing formats right now. They're HDR10 and Dolby Vision. Long story short, Dolby Vision is better, but you're going to pay more because you need to have a top-of-the-line TV in order to have Dolby Vision. And the best bet is to get an OLED, like I have one in the house, and that gives you Dolby Vision and HDR10. Otherwise, you can watch things on HDR10, and basically this just means more color. You see more color on your screen than you would. This is just the layman way of putting it. Yeah, Dolby Vision is better than HDR10. You just got to pay more for it.
There's no way I'm talking my wife into getting another new TV.
Well, it's I personally feel it's worth it because
I don't disagree. I totally want it, but we have a 4K TV, and I think that's a 4K HD TV is probably about as far as I'm going to get with her.
Yeah,
we have 3 of them, so they're all over the house. So
Yeah.
she wants to move before we can get another big TV.
So, I mean, for me, I had to get a new receiver this past week because mine was acting really funky. It's been acting pretty weird over the past few months, and I haven't been able to see as clearly as I would like. I mean, it would cut out the sound and it would cut out the picture sometimes. So I just ended up buying a new receiver with Dolby Vision in it. So all I need left is a Dolby Vision enabled Blu-ray player, and I could watch movies that come out on Dolby Vision. It's a pain in the ass, but it looks incredible.
Yeah, I don't watch enough TV to justify that.
Yeah.
I totally want it, but I can't justify it.
Oh, it looks amazing. You would love it.
I bet.
My friend has Atmos, and it sounds creepy as hell. Sounds like Pennywise is right above you. Yeah, I bet it does.
Ooh.
Yeah. I have just a basic 5.1 setup, so I love my little setup, especially since I live in an apartment, and it works for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Got to be able to do what works for you and what's in your budget.
Right. And I, unfortunately, don't have the budget for that.
8K is coming soon. We are years away from an 8K TV, man. So we are very far away from having 8K TVs in our room.
I'll wait for that. Will that be in my lifetime?
Yeah. But we are very far away from having 8K TVs in the living room. Oh my goodness. So questions. Let's see. Questions. I have to check if my 4K Blu-ray player has Dolby Vision. Depends. When did you buy it? And what's the Blu-ray player number? Because very few of them currently have Dolby Vision right now.
Yeah, Luis is the TV expert.
No, I'm not. Ryan is actually much better than I am at that stuff.
Oh, really?
Ryan knows his shit. Like Ryan Sace in the
Yeah.
group, if you really want to know about that stuff, he's the guy that you need to talk to. Is 4K even worth it on a 32-inch TV? No, it's not. I would say it's not. I think if you'd have to have at least 55-inch to see almost any difference. Too small of a TV. Jesus, you can get a 32-inch TV? I didn't even know they sold them that small.
Nick Munoz says that he doesn't see color. Are you actually colorblind, Nick Munoz?
It's funny that he mentions it. I have issues with color.
Oh, that's right. I think he told me.
Yeah, certain blues especially really trip me up. Jeebus 55-inch. I wanted a 65-inch, but yeah. Can't always get what you want. So what are you reading right now, Jess? How's the Hickmanathon coming?
It's going well. I finished Secret Warriors and Fantastic Four 1. I'm getting Architects of Forever in the mail.
Ooh.
I actually found a copy of Avengers #1 today for Kemi Jacob at Second and Charles for $45. So he was happy with that. I'm right in the middle of Fantastic Four 2, which I think I'm going to take a break on because it's not as exciting as Fantastic Four 1 was. I loved Fantastic Four 1, but for some reason I'm getting bogged down a little in Fantastic Four 2, so I need to get Architects of Forever and read that and then go back to Fantastic Four 2.
You think his writing is it's slowing down a little bit?
No, I don't think it's his writing. I think it's my knowledge of the Marvel Universe and events beforehand. This is strictly a me issue. It's not him, it's me. There's a lot of previous Marvel event stuff getting woven into the story, and I'm not that familiar with it.
Right.
Whereas with Secret Warriors, I understood all of it. Fantastic Four #1, I understood all of it. But Fantastic Four 2 seems to be pulling in elements from a lot of other stories, and I'm not 100% following it, so it's my fault. So I mean, I'm going to continue to read it and continue to dig it, but I'm taking a break, maybe until this weekend, I think.
Okay, fair enough. I agree with you that. Geez, it's been a while. It's been a minute since I've read that stuff. He pulls in a lot, especially from his shield run and like different areas and things like that. But it pays off. It's good stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm gonna get this thing done by Labor Day. I started Memorial Day and I banged out Secret Warriors and Fantastic Four 1 just pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
The more I look at Avengers #1, the bigger it's getting. I had to hook that thing out of Second and Charles to my car, and that's a heavy book. It is heavy. That's a meaty, big thing. So I'm a little intimidated by it right now. I'm looking at it right now going, oh. And then Avengers 2 comes out, so I'm I don't think I'll have a problem understanding it, but I'm going to have trouble putting it. I mean, I'm going to have to get a platform to put the thing on.
That's the death of Johnny Storm, right? Is what everything leads up to the first volume?
Well, no, I'm talking about Avengers 1.
No, I'm talking about Fantastic Four.
Oh. Yeah, he dies in Fantastic Four 1.
Okay. Yeah. It's kind of weird because Hickman ends his run in the second volume. However, he keeps going after he technically ends his run, and he's got like 10 or 12 issues after that where it's just him having fun, like with different one-off issues and things like that.
This is Fantastic Four 2?
Fantastic Four 2, yeah.
Okay.
So it's good stuff, but everything you're reading right now will culminate and it'll make sense in the end in a amazingly badass fashion.
Awesome. Okay, good. I will continue to push forward.
Yes, it's worth it because there's a moment in there that is easily probably, and I've given Hickman a lot of shit in the past. There's a moment in there that is easily in my top 5 moments of comics that I will always remember.
But I haven't got to it yet, huh?
No. Not. You'll know it once you get to it.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure everybody in the chat knows, if you've read it, which one I'm talking about.
And please don't spoil it for me because I haven't got there yet.
Yeah, don't be a dick and spoil it for
him. Yeah, the second volume of Hickman Shield comes out in July, I think, and I'll be picking that up when it comes out so I can get the completion on that.
Are you getting?
Yeah, it's a good run. I've been filling in. I've been trying to read the books that we are reviewing on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a blast reading Agents of Atlas. I'm about halfway through that. That is totally fun.
Is it good? I'm going to start that tomorrow because I saw the cover and I was like, what in the hell did we get?
It's like a Doom Patrol from the 60s with a 2000s writer writing it.
I'll check it out. Okay.
It's really fun.
I'll sit down.
It is super fun. Yeah.
I've been digging Milk and Cheese.
Yeah, Milk and Cheese. I've been reading that. And then I have not got to, what's the other book we need to read?
I have it sitting on my shelf. I don't. There was Milk and Cheese, Atlas, and Han Solo.
Han Solo, right. I need to read that still. I haven't opened that up yet, but I'm about halfway through the other two.
Yeah, Milk and Cheese for me is best if I barely got those books. Fuck. Yeah, Gabe just got them. He got them late.
That is weird.
Yeah. Milk and Cheese is for me is best read in small chunks.
I agree. Totally. It was. I don't think it was ever meant to be read in a complete form like it is. It was always one-pagers that got collected. I think they were originally one-pagers from Dork, or maybe there was a whole. I remember reading whole issues of Milk and Cheese, and I have an original Milk and Cheese drawing somewhere from Evan Dorkin that I got for $25 back in 1993 or something. What? I gotta find it. I know where it is in the basement, but I gotta find it and get it framed now that he's, Evan Dorkin. But yeah, it was $25.
Damn, dude.
So yeah, I know I need to get that. It's colored and everything.
Wow. Good shit. I didn't know it was like that.
But yeah, Milk and Cheese is best read in small chunks. But Eltingville is worth reading all the way through because it's so great.
Eltingville?
Yeah, the Eltingville. Well, it's called the Eltingville Club, but the real name is like the Eltingville role-playing, comic collecting, card trading, nerd biting club or something. They all they do is fight with each other. It's awesome, and they're completely typical nerds.
I've never
Stereotypical nerds. Just it's so great. God, I love that book.
I've never heard of this. Is it recent?
Eltingville? No, I think it came out last year. It's one of the things that, you know, you'd get an issue of Dork and it would have the murder family in it, and it would have Milk and Cheese in it, and it had a story of Eltingville in it. And then I think Eltingville got its own collection, Milk and Cheese got its own comic collection, and now they're getting their complete collections.
Okay.
That's how I recall it anyway. Although I do remember reading, you know, big slabs of Milk and Cheese and Eltingville in comic book form.
Eltingville. All right. Well, it seems like the chat is kind of dying down tonight. So how about another 5 minutes, Jess?
Can we even get that out of the chat?
I don't even know at this point.
Come on, chat. Ask.
But yeah, Gabe says that you need to read Miller's FF run in order to understand a lot of
Okay, I think I have that.
stuff. I never read the Miller stuff, and I was fine.
Oh, okay. I'm pretty sure I have that. Where is it?
I never got to read that stuff. I thought it was perfectly fine without it.
Okay.
Anything I was confused on, I just did a quick old Google search. And besides, after having read the gauntlet that is Grant Morrison's Batman run, I don't think anything can be as confusing for me as that.
Trigonosis says it's just him in the chat now, and he wants me to read Jenkins' Sidekick. It's his weekly plug for Jenkins' Sidekick.
Well, since it's just Trigonosis, me and Jess will now perform slam poetry for him.
Okay, Paul Jenkins sidekicks. I will sidekick. My next IST order, I will put it in there. As a matter of fact, I'll write it down, but this is out of ink, so I can't write. Yeah, it's out of ink.
It's out of ink.
Yeah.
Do you like Madman, Jess?
I love Madman.
What's it about? I've never read it.
There's my Madman shelf right there. He's just a wacky superhero that has like one of those disc spinning, a gun that spits out plastic discs, and he just has crazy adventures.
So does he have like an arch villain or anything?
I don't even remember now. I have a whole shelf, but it's been, I mean, that's how bad my memory is. I read it, and then the next thing I read, it pushes out my previous knowledge. So I can't remember if he has a main villain or not. Viola Blue, yes, that is.
Is that what new limited edition? Oh, that big
that white Madman right there.
What does that collect?
It collects his favorite stories, Mike Allred's favorite stories of Madman.
So it's nothing in chronological order or anything like that?
It's everything I already have. It was strictly a collectible that I wanted to get before I got busted by my wife and put on probation. And forever, that was one of the things where I was going crazy in January and February and pre-ordering stupid things. And that was one of the things I shelled out crazy amounts of money for. And I got slapped on the wrist pretty hard. I took a spanking pretty seriously. That's why the whole budget thing came out.
Is that why you're on probation and you can only spend as much as IST gives you?
Yes.
Hey, man.
Madman is responsible for that.
You blame Madman for that?
I do, yeah.
You should. If you ever see Mike, you should tell him my wife put me on probation because of him.
I did finish Hellblade, Shorty Larson. I loved it. It was an amazing, exhausting ending. I was kind of pissed at the ending. I don't want to ruin it for anybody.
Hopefully it was exhausting at the end.
But the boss, the ultimate boss fight, how can I say it without ruining it for people? I could have done with less.
Mm-hmm.
Needed the ultimate, the final fight. I could have done with a lot less of that and just getting to the ending. And it was a great ending, and I totally dug it. I loved the whole video game, but I think the ending, it took me like 10 or 15 minutes to get through that ending, and it could have been just as powerful with like a 5-minute sequence.
I agree. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And Matt Miranda, yeah, I am playing God of War. I played it this weekend a lot. I haven't gone back to it, but yeah, I'm digging it. It's really cool.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
I like Trigonosis idea. How about an episode about shelves and how to build them?
Oh my gosh, if you can't build IKEA shelves, holy smoke.
You have a serious problem going on.
Of course, this is somebody known as Failmaster in the chat on the Omnibus group. He is called Failmaster. So you may, Trigonosis may want to, knowing his history, he may want to hire somebody. Now that I realize who it is.
You can't build a calyx, man. You got yourself a problem. I need to anchor them to the wall. That sounds like an episode of Fail. Dude, if you need, you know what? I'll Bob Ross it. I'll dress up like Bob Ross and show you how to do it.
Bob Ross. I think you mean Bob Vila. Bob Ross is the painter.
I know. I like Bob Ross more.
Oh, you'd rather dress up as Bob Ross.
I would rather dress up as Bob Ross. That or I dress up as like Chip from that show that my girl is obsessed with, Fixer Upper.
Oh, right, Chip, yeah.
My girl loves that show.
My wife loves that show too.
It's all rustic. That's all it ever is. Like, it's rustic, baby. That's all they ever do. They finally put an IKEA near me. How many Omnis as absolutes can you fit on a 2x4 calyx? That depends.
Got the biggest calyx. A 2x4. What's 2?
2 shelves up, 4 shelves across.
2 up, 4 across. You can fit a good many.
I think that's what it is.
Let's see. It depends on the size of the Omnis, but I'm looking at Omnis only right now in a shelf.
No,
and there's 6 Omnis on it, but then I'm looking up at. It depends on the size of the Omnis, because now I'm looking at another shelf. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Omnis fit on that shelf. So it just depends on the size of the Omnis.
Can doors be installed on a calyx? I'm too lazy to dust the books.
Oh, you're supposed to dust your books?
I mean, ideally.
Oh.
If you want to keep them in good shape.
I'll be right back.
I still have a cheapo 3x3 cube that doesn't fit absolutes, so that should work. You can fit absolutes on a calyx.
I should think so. There's plenty of room to spare where the Omnis are. I don't have absolutes in my calyx. I got Billies that I adjusted the shelves for.
You got Billies?
For my absolutes, yeah, because I could adjust the shelves for them. I don't know that I don't know. Let me do a quick test.
It's okay, Jess. All your books are protected by the plastic wrappers. He is testing. He is trying to see and help you guys out.
Yeah, absolutes fit with no problem.
Okay. We have confirmed Absolutes fit in a Calyx with no problem. Only here on Omnibros Live do you get this kind of scientific testing.
Oh, right. Nick brings up a good point. All my books are still in their plastic wrappers, so they don't need dusting.
That's part of the reason they survived the Great Flood.
Fortunately, I had all my Omnis on the upper shelves.
That's typically how most collectors do it, though. They have the omnibuses on display at the top shelves, at least from what I've seen.
Well, that's how I've done it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have my hardcovers on the lower shelves.
Home and Gardens have a great case just like a Calyx, and that's awesome. Two of each Omni.
That's not me.
Mine is Home and Gardens, and Absolutes fit, so nice.
Nice.
All right, just you ready to call it? Hour and a half.
Sure. InStockTrades.com, where you can get up to 50% off your collected editions. Discount codes, loyalty discount codes, add 2 to 3% to that, where they also have sales all the time. And an Omnibroslive discount coupon every quarter. Over $50 gets you free shipping in the United States. Fabulous customer service. See our interview with Emily, their customer service expert, from 2 days ago on Monday. She was great.
He is a sweetheart.
Yes, she is a sweetheart. And how do they package their books, Luis?
Oh, they package their books just like I mentioned earlier, like a newborn baby child being cuddled up in a nice little blanket.
That is correct. And so please subscribe. Please subscribe. Please subscribe and hit the like button. You can find Luis where?
You can find me at Comics Guide 101, ladies and gentlemen. Check it out on Facebook and Twitter.
And you can find me, OmniDog's Vault, on YouTube. I'm not even going to promote my Instagram until I put more stuff up there. I'm so lazy. All those hashtags are such a pain. I don't even want to do it. How does it get popular? You kids. I don't get it.
Easiest way is to put it in your notes and then copy and paste each time.
Oh, I like that.
That's what I did.
Oh,
I think about that.
that's a good idea.
That is a good idea. See, she's the brains of this operation.
Nice. All righty then. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night, everybody.
And we will see you later. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Bye.